Hi there, welcome to Cinema 8. I'm James Tompkins. I'm here with Michael Stebing here in the Wood TV Plus studio. We are here today to talk about some of the big summer releases. Michael, why don't you start us off with one of the ones that you're looking forward to?
So this summer, there's a lot of big franchises, a lot of sequels. The first movie I'm going to talk about comes out in May. It's the companion piece to the Disney Plus show, The Mandalorian and Grogu. This is, the sequel to the TV show, of course. I just think this looks awesome. Jon Favreau's directing this. He was a big part of the original series. It just looks like a fun summer Star Wars world movie. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
I guess you could unofficially call this the Baby Yoda movie.
Yeah.
Has people who are not as familiar with the Mandalorian or Grogu might think of the character of Grogu as Baby Yoda. Pedro Pascal is in this, I guess. Yeah, right.
Big Hollywood star. Yep.
Yeah.
He's the Mandalorian.
He's the Mandalorian. That was one of the first things to put him on the map was the Mandalorian.
And they're letting him take his helmet off for this movie quite a few times. It looks like, at least from the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're paying big bucks, and they got a big star now, so they gotta show him off.
Jamie, what's the next movie on your list?
One of the ones I'm most looking forward to is Scary Movie. You could say it's a reboot. Some people have called it Scary Movie 6. Now they are just officially calling it Scary Movie.
Kind of like what Scream did. It was Scream, and then like Scream 2, 3, and 4, and then it was just like, oh, Scream again.
Scream, and now they're calling it Scream 5. Like they kind of renamed it so like it's part of the series again. But yeah, now it's Scary Movie, and it is the return of the Wayans brothers to the franchise, the parody franchise of the all horror movies, really. And it's just sort of taking on horror movies from the last few years. It looks like they're parodying Sinners, Megan, Weapons, and just pop culture and things going on in the world in general. And it looks like a lot of fun. It's been a while since as I said, the Wayans brothers were involved in the Scary Movie franchise. They did Scary Movie 1 and 2. And after that, it was sort of handed off to other filmmakers, and it had some of the same cast members, but it did not have all the original people involved. But it looked like it has a lot of the same people from the original returning. Kind of like the last few Scream movies have had some of the original cast members from the first couple movies come back for little cameos.
The trailer looks hilarious. I've seen it a couple times. I feel like with these type of movies, they like kind of ran its course for a while, and then there's been like a big like break between it, probably needed. There was like, I think some of these movies got pretty like terrible. There was like Epic Movie. There was like a bunch of these parody type movies that kind of got worse and worse. And then I feel like Hollywood just like pumped the brakes on those for maybe a decade. And now they're finally like bringing it back with the Wayans.
They really ran it into the ground.
Yeah.
I think they did Date Movie, Epic Movie, Meet the Spartans. I feel like they tried to do pretty much any genre of movie they could parody. And eventually it just kind of became like, oh, look, what can we imitate? And just make a gross gag out of a scene instead of actually doing something that's a satire of it. Hopefully this movie kind of returns it to form. So what's your next one? Next one.
Mine's one that could totally be a parody movie, like it could be a superhero movie someday. This is Supergirl, which is kind of like the spin-off sequel to last year's Superman. It looks hilarious. It's, James Gunn has taken over this DC universe and really is doing something new and different with it. And I just think this movie looks like a really fun summer movie.
Yeah, from what I've seen, this one seems like it might be more what people have expected from James Gunn, kind of with the humor and the kind of offbeat sensibility of Guardians of the Galaxy, sort of the reluctant hero kind of, maybe more so than last year's Superman movie. This next one I want to talk about, it's called Obsession, which is it's a horror movie directed by Curry Barker. It is a really interesting looking movie about a young man who makes a wish that this young woman that he is infatuated with will love him more than anyone in the world. And he, be careful what you wish for because it ends up happening. And it looks just absolutely terrifying and just really darkly funny. It looks like it could be very cringeworthy, but I really can't wait to see it. I've seen a few trailers for it now. I've seen some teasers and some longer trailers now, and it just that is another one that I'm really looking forward to seeing.
Obsession almost made my list. Like you said, great trailer. Looks hilarious, but also like really fun horror movie. I can't wait for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your next one?
So my next one is another superhero movie. It is another big franchise. Surely it'll be one of the top blockbusters of the year. It's Spider-Man Brand New Day. The last time we saw Spider-Man, spoiler alert, but I feel like this movie's been out for 3-4 years now, was at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, where everybody forgot who he was. So it kind of left this big cliffhanger that kind of set the franchise up for kind of a new beginning, a brand new day, so to say. So this movie looks like a lot of fun. Looks like they're going to have the Hulk in this, the Punisher in this movie. Zendaya returns, but she doesn't know who Peter Parker is. So it kind of just sets up a new beginning, and it looks really cool. It's the director of Shang-Chi. I really enjoyed that movie. I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to this next installment and how it will help set up later in the year when we see Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, Avengers Doomsday comes out
December.
Yep. Yeah, so this is sort of a prelude to that, and it's interesting to have both of these big releases coming later this year. I talked about both of these movies in an article I wrote for woodtv.com, which you can go read now.
You know, one thing that's interesting about Brand New Day is I believe it was supposed to come out after Avengers Doomsday. So I wonder if they've had to like rework at least like the after the credit scenes, like how they've had to maneuver the script to make it, fit before Avengers now. So I think there's a thing where Avengers Doomsday and Dune 3, like they're both on the same day right now, or they're like a week apart or something. And there's kind of been like a standoff between both movies to get one of them to move.
Yeah, one of them probably should move. I mean, I don't think they want to fall into the trap of like what Mission Impossible did, going up against Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah.
Because you're competing for the same IMAX screens.
Yeah. So what I've heard is Avengers isn't getting the IMAX screens; that they're all going to Dune, which is kind of crazy.
That's just a bad idea. I mean, so many people are going to want to see Doomsday on an IMAX screen. I mean, it's just made for that. So and especially, Spider-Man and Doomsday seem to be Marvel's chance to kind of come back.
Redemption, yep.
It's been a few years since there's been a really huge Marvel release that kind of got people excited to come back and see. So, going back to my list here, it looks really interesting is Backrooms. This is...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this
Talk
is...
about a trailer.
This is very intriguing trailer. Is directed by Kane Parsons, and this is sort of based on it's definitely based on a series of YouTube videos that have become popular in the last few years. Really just mysterious things where people can go down these long corridors. You most likely have seen them or know somebody who's talked about them. But people go down these long corridors and just discover these sort of endless seeming rooms. I had somebody tell me about them probably about a year ago, and sort of just discovered a few of these videos, and it's just very creepy. You don't really know what you're going to find back there. And the first time I watched one, I didn't know it was AI. I didn't really know what it was. And now they've there's a full feature length film about it. Two characters who kind of discover this sort of endless world in the back of this abandoned-looking office building, and they just keep going and seeing what they find. And it looks really creepy, looks really interesting, and I'm just looking forward to seeing this one on a big screen with an audience.
Every time I see this trailer, I just want to know what is happening. It's a very intriguing trailer. Looking forward to this one too.
I think a lot of people are going to be talking about this. What is your next one?
My next one is Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day. This is a sci-fi film, possibly aliens in this. Big cast, Emily Blunt. This feels like the type of like big summer blockbuster that's best to know as little as possible going into it. I've seen the trailer a couple times. It doesn't really give away a lot. It just seems like a great popcorn blockbuster summer movie. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, it definitely looks good. I saw the trailer the other day in the theater, and it looks like some unknown event going on, but it seems some like maybe an attack or some sort of world-ending event going on, but it's not really clear exactly what it is. But something on the scale kind of like Independence Day or that kind of summer movie that we used to get. It's not a franchise movie, but someone with Spielberg's name on it can definitely get this kind of thing made still.
Sweet. What movie do you have next on your list?
Well, my last one is one that looks like a late summer sleeper to me, but this is one that I've watched the trailer for several times just because it just seems like something that's right up my alley. It's called Idiots, and it's a movie with Dave Franco and O'Shea Jackson Jr. It is a comedy about two sort of incompetent criminals who have to transport a wealthy criminal's son somewhere, and they end up screwing the whole thing up. This comes out in late August. It definitely gives me kind of like Pineapple Express vibes. And not just because Dave Franco is James Franco's brother. Mm-hmm. It just the look of it, the feel of it, and the trailer is really creative. It's just like a lot of quick cuts, sound effects, and it's a lot of action and like a lot of stylish shots. And it just looks like a lot of fun. It looks like something that I will definitely be into. So I'm looking forward to this one. As soon as I saw that, I was like, that's a movie made for me.
Oh yeah. This looks like one of those type of comedies that they just don't make anymore. It looks so hilarious, kind of a throwback to that era of comedies. So the next one, neither one of us put it on our list, but you can't do a summer movie preview without talking about Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
Absolutely. And I know I'll be there to see that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This movie has been hyped up for over a couple years now since they first announced it. They sold tickets like a year in advance for this movie, and they all sold out like instantly. This feels like the type of summer blockbuster where you're gonna get, huge crowds on opening night. Everything Christopher Nolan makes from now, through the rest of his career is just must see, a must see movie. And he's coming off of his first Oscar win for Best Picture for Oppenheimer. This is definitely a big, highly anticipated film of the summer.
I think everyone's really interested to see what he's going to do with this story.
Yep.
And how he's going to make it unique and his own. He's got just a huge cast.
Christopher Nolan's one of those filmmakers, one of the very few filmmakers that can pretty much get any cast he wants, work with anybody he wants to. Who's going to turn down Christopher Nolan at this point? That
is all the time we have today on Cinema 8. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you at the ski lodge. I mean, the movies.
Wherever you choose to watch.
Yeah, you can watch movies anywhere on your phone. See you next time.